Okay, guys, this is going to be a quick one. Markets have opened a little bit weird today. Obviously, we still got gold moving, how it's moving. So, again, like I said, it's going to be a quick one. Again, welcome to the video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. But we're just going to have a quick overview in regards to what I expect or what I want to see for this week. So, as you already know, gold is definitely due a pullback. Where it pulls back, I mean, we already know, we've already established and we looked at. But when it pulls back is the question, right? So right now, obviously, we know we've got structures that's keep on going up. We haven't got nothing to the left because we're at all-time highs. But I did say last week, I think we will touch 4K. We are very close. Okay, 4K is just right there. So it's just, do we touch 4K first and then drop, or do we drop and then get 4K? One of those two things will happen. It's just which order does it happen. So right now, all we can keep doing is trading structure. Again, if you're in our gold community group, then you've been seeing that we've been buying and selling in between all of these areas. So again, link is in the bio if you do want to join. Again, it's free. So if you do want to join and trade golds specifically, then gold trading community is for you. Okay, so yeah, we already know since last week again, I showed this buy last time that we got a buy from the gold trading community that we posted in there. And since then, it's reached a crazy level. So if you did hold this buy, from the gold trading community, you had 1,900 pips basically from that entry. Okay, so yeah, gold is gold. There's not much more to say about it, right? So I'm just going to leave it as that. Other things I'm looking at for this week, potentially, and this is going to 4 hour because I do look at most of market structure from a 4 hour perspective. So when we're looking at Bitcoin specifically, so last week I did say I was looking at this H1 POI. Okay, came in, kind of played weird in the area, didn't really give a setup that I was really interested in. Okay, there were some buys in there that you could potentially have caught, but yeah, it didn't really catch my interest. So nothing to do with Bitcoin. I just kind of left it as that. Again, another one that's basically creeping. And again, not creeping, but literally making new, again, all-time highs. So we are seeing this price push up to all-time highs as well. Again, when you look at the fundamentals in regards to why gold is pushing up, why Bitcoin is pushing up, you just have to understand the crisis that's happening in the world right now with war, with the brick card or brick digital ID, whatever the hell it's called. All these kind of things factor into these kind of places that money goes towards. Again, gold, Bitcoin being safe havens technically. Okay, I mean, gold is definitely a safe haven. Bitcoin, you can argue its point, but it is being treated as a safe haven because people just don't know what the hell is going on no more. And where people feel safe is having money in gold, having money in different accounts like Bitcoin, whatever else, just so they can actually hold some value or do something different. Okay, rather than just having the dollar, which we know is basically dead. They're printing more money than the pounds, things like this. So they're just not safe and just dying basically. Okay, so obviously it's good to have savings and whatever else elsewhere. But when you start understanding what's truly going on fundamentally and you start to understand human psychology, these kind of things take a perspective and you start to see why price moves the way it does. So again, Bitcoin at new all-time highs. Again, last week was looking at price coming down into an H1 point of interest. And we also got this daily down here. So again, I do think this daily will be met around 70,000 at some point, hopefully. Okay. But yeah, we'll see. We're a long, long way away from that right now. But right now, I say 102, let's just say 100 mark. I think price will pull back to one way or another, either it's to bounce and continue going up. So we're going to get something like this. Okay, for price to bounce and then continue going up, or do we just get the price pulling back towards these kind of areas and coming down into here? One of those two things will happen, which is why I'm saying 100 is a very key marker, a very, very nice round number as well for institutional kind of pricing and understanding quarter points. So 100 Bitcoin at some point, especially now that we're taking out a new high again, making new all-time highs once more, I do personally believe we will start to see some kind of break structures to the downside and maybe get our signature move. So something like this, okay, where we can potentially come down, do that, and then we start looking at areas like this and come pulling back into these kind of areas, and then potentially, who knows, reaching 100. So I would expect and want to see price like that. Okay, especially now that I'm taking buy side liquidity one more time through this high right here. Okay, I would like to see that. So again, it's just a waiting game to see exactly how price does open up there. Not open up, but how it continues tomorrow during the week, and then we'll see what's going on. US 30, again, we've done similar thing to Bitcoin where we took our buy side liquidity as expected last week, which is why I was interested in buys from this area. Take our buy side liquidity, we've got a little break of structure through here. Okay, and now can we see price then doing the signature move and then coming down to a sell side liquidity and potentially even more liquidity down here. But right now, it'll just be sell side liquidity that I'll be personally looking for if I am to take sell from this area. So let's just actually look at it. Structure, yeah, open up very aggressively. and then you can see buy side liquidity got taken on Friday, and then coming into today, which is literally done an aggressive drop to the downside. Can we potentially? Okay, can we potentially make this move right here where we do broken structure here? We use this as liquidity, get this area here, but then after that liquidity point, do we then come up into here? Okay, as our POI. Okay, that could be a very interesting one. Okay, that's one I'll be very interested to see potentially happen. Okay, so yeah, let's just wait. Again, we've got point of interest and you've got FVG in this area. So this whole thing here, I'll be very curious to see exactly how it does play out, if it does play out tomorrow. But let's just focus on this as the POI, and then we'll see if we can actually get a potential entry there tomorrow. Okay, so NAS didn't really see anything for that down, thinking, yeah, great. But if we do see some breaker structures to the downside here, then great, we'll get that. Not really seeing nothing for that. GBP USD, let's go to the 4 hour again. Okay, so when we're seeing GBP USD, again, last week was looking at price potentially coming down into this H1 after we had this liquidity grab. Okay, and then heading up. Okay, we didn't quite get the tapping that we wanted, but even though if doing this liquidity grab and then it's going from there. So we'll see exactly how this does play out. Okay, so that's what I'll be personally waiting for to see if we can actually get that. And then from there, yeah. But right now we're just in the middle of the range. So yeah, we'll see exactly what we can actually find from this week. Euro USD, again, we tapped in one more time into this area, and then point of interest is up here. Okay, so again, we'll see if I think it would be similar to GBP USD, but GBP USD looks like the more appealing one to me. It just depends how we open up tomorrow because of this gap, and then see if we could get some rebounds in and around this area. So we didn't touch this 15-minute point of interest, and I would have liked last week as well. We didn't get that. So yeah, again, prices open up quite weird and ugly. Again, it was NFP on Friday, so I'm not surprised half of these things happened. Euro USD, like I said, yeah, not much right now that I'm thinking that. I mean, if we do break past this point, again, there's not really areas that I'm thinking, yeah, like let me look at again. We'll see what happens in the morning, but right now that's not catching my interest. AD USD, again, similar. Again, we just opened up, kind of stayed in this range. We've been, I mean, AD USD is pointless to look at. I might just delete it out of my list, to be fair. Okay, it's just nice sometimes for quick trades here and there because we initially leverage adds more leverage because the trades are so minuscule. And then you can be in and out quite quickly. That's the only reason I really had that. But the way I'm trading now, might just delete it from my list, to be fair. GPJPY, another one that opened up with a massive gap. So again, there's not much I want to really look at right now. The structure is completely blown through here. So yeah, I don't want to do anything with that. But looking at the holistic picture, we already know that we're looking at buy side liquidity potentially being taken. To see if we can actually get something from there. And then yeah, but again, last week I was looking at potentially H4 playing through here and then taking that buy side liquidity, but it hasn't presented itself to do that. So yeah, like I said, the prices have opened up weirdly this week. Same as USD JPY, same thing as GBP JPY. You wanted price to come out here, take out buy side liquidity, but potentially first giving us an entry on this H1 down here. But as you can see, we're basically there already and it's doing this thing. So again, another one that bites the dust. And then last one I'll be looking at. So last week we looked at this US oil. Okay, where I said I would expect price to maybe make one more move to the downside, sweeping out this liquidity. Okay, giving us this kind of thing. So again, you can see my drawing of what I wanted. So you can see the structure here, break structure come down. Didn't quite get exactly like that, but open up today, you can see where we are after Friday's and Thursday's price action. And then now, target for this week would definitely be this H1 if we stay within the structure. Okay, so that's my quick overview of everything I'm looking at personally and what I think could potentially happen. If it happens, we don't know yet. All we can do is play the price action, right? So we'll just wait to see exactly what happens from here. So tomorrow, I'm curious to see if this structure does hold. Okay, if this structure does hold, then perfect. Then we can start looking at some buys to come up into this area. We've got a long way to go if you trade oil. You know, that's a lot of money sitting on the table right there. So yeah, 1,000 pips or so. So yeah, that's just a quick overview. That's what I'm looking at personally. So yeah, hopefully we can actually catch some moves. Again, the market structure hasn't really opened up quite nicely as I would have liked. But I did get feedback from last week's video about market structure. So some of you said that was a really good video just to revisit the basics and understand the more advanced ones to then shift into taking better trades. So yeah, if you haven't watched that video already, definitely watch that video. And then yeah, we'll leave it as that for today. And then yeah, until next time, have a great week. Take care. Peace.